All right. Does everybody know what campaign we recently launched? What's it called? Choose your age. Yes, I'm sure we've all heard, act your age. Everybody telling us. I've definitely heard it. But the brand marketing team came up with this brilliant concept of, choose your age. We're going to redefine age. Age is not going to be your, numerical, biological age, but we're going to count your age based on how many adventures you've done, what are the experiences that you've had, and based on the life that you've lived. So before we start, what you guys are all waiting for, let's take a look at the Choose Your Age ad campaign.
थैंक यू सर। एक बात कहूँ, मैंने आज तक आपकी एज का क्लाइंबर नहीं देखा।
कुछ साल पहले तक मैंने भी अपने आप को यहाँ नहीं देखा था।
सो इफ यू डोंट माइंड मी आस्किंग, हाउ ओल्ड आर यू?
टू ओल्ड? अगर मैं ये सोचने बैठ जाती तो बैठी ही रहती। अभी तो I have a long way to go. I'm only 3.5 abs old.
कौन कहता है नई चीज सीखने की कोई उम्र होती है? Today I've become 1 online order old.
आज मैं 6 कंप्यूटर क्लास का हो जाऊंगा।
और मैं कम से कम 35। दादी, आज तो तुम मेरे से बहुत छोटे हो।
Single mother, 2 grown-up kids. लोग क्या कहेंगे? पता है मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट लोगों ने क्या कहा?
You're looking good, Ma.
This evening I will be 2 dates old.
You know what? I'm 14 laps old and going to turn 15.
You're only 11 lessons old.
देख के पता नहीं चलता ना।
Of course, कुछ जगहों पे एज लिमिट होना जरूरी है, लेकिन इधर नहीं।
Right over the sun.
So, how old are you?
I'm 5. 5 expeditions old.
All right. Come on, I think that deserves much more bigger applause, doesn't it? All right. So I know you guys are waiting to see somebody here. Now that somebody was impressed by this ad and he decided he wants to be a part of this because, choosing his age, breaking all age-related stereotypes comes naturally to him, right? You guys know that? He was the first ever male supermodel in India. He's a Hollywood and Bollywood actor, a producer, an entrepreneur, and now a health and fitness advocate. He has represented India in swimming. How many of you remember the controversial Tough Shoes ad? Yeah, well, he was famous much before that too. He's acted in films like 16th December, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, Brahm, Gandh, and how many of you girls remember Rules, Pyaar Ka Superhit Formula? Oh yes, you girls do. He started running at the age of 38. And we just spoke to him and he said, he doesn't have a fixed schedule. He runs whenever he wants. And that's what he's done. He's completed the Ironman Challenge in 2015 and the Ultraman Challenge in 2017. Now I have to read out what the Ultraman Challenge is. It's a 10-kilometer swim and a 143 kilometer bike ride. That's just on day 1. That's followed by a 276 kilometer bike ride on day 2. If that's not enough, 84 kilometer run on day 3. And our special friend here did all of that barefoot. He's been a champion of barefoot running. He's also the co-founder of Pinkathon. Have you guys heard of Pinkathon? Yes. So he encourages women to adopt a fitter lifestyle, not just for themselves, but for their families too. These days, he's also hosting a digital show called I Can, You Can, and he inspires fitness enthusiasts around the world. I hope that after today's talk, all of you will aspire to find new challenges inside and outside of yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the man who can match the fitness level of a 25-year-old and who continues to make women weak in the knees. Please give a Flipkart welcome to the one and only Milind Soman!
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. That was a good introduction. Thank you very much. Except that when he was asking about all the 16 December and tough shoes and all that, I knew that a lot of you are too young to remember or to have seen it. Captain Vyom was for kids, right? So you obviously saw it. You wouldn't probably remember tough shoes because, you know, that was me naked and you were not allowed to see it. But yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me and thank you for the warm welcome. I must say that I was really impressed by this campaign. I mean, I don't know what all of you think about older people like me. And generally people don't think about older people. So I was really, really surprised to see that, and also the idea behind it of not counting your years, not counting your age by years, but by experiences. It's a really fantastic idea. So I congratulate Flipkart and also the agency that helped them come up with this idea. It's really beautiful because it's one of those ideas that can really change your life. Maybe not yet. Maybe 20 years from today, you'll remember this campaign and the important message that it has. But for the people who are, say, my age or even in their late 30s, in their 40s, it's a great wake-up call. Because, you know, it's... I meet people all the time who are about in their mid-30s, in the early 40s, who feel that, you know, their life is over. They feel that their life is... They've done all the most exciting things that they could have possibly done, and that's it. But... I mean, I must tell you from my own experience, as you heard earlier, I started running at the age of 38. And when I started running, and I used to hate running earlier, I thought it was really boring, really monotonous, you know, just going on and on and on. I couldn't figure out why people would do it. But I'd always had this idea of running a full marathon in my head since I was a kid. I had heard of this thing called a marathon. You know, I didn't even probably know it was 42 kilometers. But there was a whole mystique around it, that this is something that everybody should do once in their lifetimes. In fact, to be a man, if we're going, you know, not gender neutral, but to be a man, you have to run a marathon. Yeah, how many of you have done that? Very good, very good. So we have some men here. Yeah, so the thing is that I started at 38 because I wanted to run a marathon. It's a dream I had had since I was a kid. But when I started running, I realized, and it was something that running gave to me, these small challenges. The first long-distance run I did was a half marathon, the 21 kilometers. This was in 2004. And when I registered for the race, you know, everybody was like, you know, how are you it's 21 kilometers. How are you going to do it? Even I was thinking, how am I going to do it? It's 21 kilometers. I've never run more than 4 or 5 kilometers in my life. And it's going to be really tough. And then people started telling me how tough it was going to be. It's going to be hot. You're going to get cramps. You're going to be dehydrated. You're going to fall down. You're going to die. I mean, all of those things. So, of course, when the day came, I was nervous. I was saying I didn't know what was going to happen. I had done a bit of training before that. I had gone up to about 14 kilometers. But still, it's the last part of every race. It's the last part. It's the last 10% of every challenge that really tests you. It's not the beginning. It's not the middle. It is the last 10% of anything you do in life. Just keeping at something till you get to the finish, that is the challenge. So I didn't know what was going to happen. And I started running, and I ran, and I was like, okay, this is a good pace. Let me continue. But before I knew it, I had completed it. I finished it. And that was the first lesson I learned through running, which was that there are so many things in life that you think are difficult. So many things in life people tell you are difficult. People are going to tell you it's tough, and how can you do it, and why would you do it, and why would you make this, why would you kind of trouble yourself for this? Why would you make so much effort for something? But running is, of course, a physical activity. But where it really benefits you the most is in the mind. Because when I did that 21-kilometer event, I realized that so many things in my life that I thought I possibly could not do or were going to get tougher and tougher as I got older, the revelation was that it was not going to be like that. The learning was that there is no challenge that I cannot overcome if I prepare. And this is actually something we learn in school. What do you learn in school? What is the biggest lesson you learn in school? Try, and try again. Okay, how many times did you fail? No, not try, and try again, but it's a good lesson. What is the biggest lesson you learn in school? How to set up a routine, don't fail. Anybody else? Come on, you all went to school. Don't tell me you got into Flipkart without going to school. I mean, I know it's a great company, but I don't know that great. But, so, what's the biggest lesson? I'll tell you the biggest lesson you learn in school. Study and you will pass. It's the biggest lesson. Throughout your life, any challenge, any test, you prepare, and there is nothing that can stand in your way. So age, when we talk about it, age has become such a big obstacle. Why this campaign is really wonderful is that in our minds, and you must have seen it maybe with your parents, with older relatives, older friends, you know, they give up so soon. They talk amongst themselves and say, no, we can't do this, we can't do that, oh, we're so old now. It's become a big obstacle. And earlier, when I look at my grandparents, they were so active, even up till the age of 80 and 90. My grandmother died when she was 90, and she was exercising every day. You know, she just used to do this, stand in one place and do this for 5 minutes. Even that much, but we don't even do that much today. Because if you see our lifestyles are beginning to teach us a different kind of culture. We eat a lot. You know? We sit a lot. So all the things that we didn't do earlier, we're doing too much of today. And all the things that we used to do earlier, we're doing too little, which is activity. So when people ask me, you know, how do you stay fit? How do you stay healthy? You know, you have to exercise, we can't exercise, I met a girl just now. Where's the girl gone? She said, I'm a foodie. Where's the foodie? Okay, I know you're hiding now because I'm saying you're a foodie. And I can't exercise. But she did 10 push-ups for the selfie, which was great. You know, I mean, everything has become entertainment. You know, even food has become entertainment. Politics is entertainment. Everything is entertainment. But the thing is that it's very easy to be fit. You don't need to exercise. Exercise needs a goal. You know, so a lot of people start to exercise because they want to lose weight. Right? That is the number one reason for people exercising in the world today. They want to lose weight. Because today, in this world of technology where everything is made so easy for us, From the time we leave school till the time we are, say, in our mid-30s, we got a stable job, most people have put on between 5 to 20 kilos without realizing it. There's so much disconnection between us and ourselves. You know, we don't understand the way our bodies function, the way our minds function, because we're so busy in making careers. We're so busy in getting a good job. We're so busy in getting ahead in life that we forget who we are, forget what we are. We forget how we are meant to be, you know? So then your biggest thing is you have to exercise, and it's tough. It's tough to start lifting weights. It's tough to start running because you're already unfit. You've become unfit for 20 years. You've done nothing. But the easiest way to be fit, the first thing that you need to know is you need to sleep. You need to sleep well. Because it's not just the sedentary lifestyle that we're talking about today. Everybody's talking about it. That is going to kill you. And believe me, sedentary lifestyle is going to kill you. It is a lack of sleep. Because what sleep does, it takes care of a lot of stress. And what is the danger of stress? Is stress causes disease. It causes physical disease. It causes mental disease. So you have to remember to sleep properly. And what is the danger today? That there, again, technology, the internet, Netflix. Anybody from Netflix? So the Netflix CEO, there was a very famous quote saying that our only competition is sleep. You've not heard this? It's an amazing quote. But it really shows you the danger of giving in to a lifestyle ruled by technology. You have to be aware of how to use technology to your advantage. Because if you don't use it to your advantage, it can kill you. Right? If you give in, how many of you use the stairs instead of the elevator? About 3%. So that is an example of we have forgotten or we don't use the stairs anymore because technology has given us an elevator. We don't need it. We don't need it. We can easily climb the stairs, but we use it. So technology must be used when necessary to give you an advantage, not used carelessly. The reason why people fall sick today, why people get old earlier today, is just carelessness. We need to just think about what the right choices are. And somebody was asking me earlier also, what advice can you give to people? So I never give advice. The reason I don't give advice, especially about fitness and health, is because each one of us already knows what is the right thing to do. There is nobody here who does not know the importance of sleep. Even if, though I said it, you know, it takes care of stress. All of you know you need to sleep. If you don't sleep for a week, you're dead. Right? The second thing is eat healthy. What is eat healthy? I just ate a dosa. Dosas are healthy. I eat pizzas. The only thing I don't eat is refined white sugar. The only thing. You can eat everything else you want. Stay away from refined food. So that's maida, also refined flour, refined oil. Stay away from that. Stay away from packaged food. Yeah? So packaged and refined, these are the two kinds of food you should stay away from. But otherwise you can eat everything. But people generally know all of this. There's so much on the internet today. Right? So you need to sleep, you need to eat healthy. What else do you need to do? So people say you need to exercise, but I don't believe it. So I've been the same weight for the last 35 years. Okay? Yeah, you can clap. It's a great achievement. Like I realized it was a great achievement when I started getting this response. Like I said, I've been the same weight for 35 years. Oh my God, that's amazing. And then I began to believe it. Yeah, it's quite something. Because everybody else I know, like I said earlier, has put on between 4 to 20 kilos, people who are my age. It's scary. It's scary. So, of course, if you're overweight, which means, and when I say overweight, it's not to body shame, which is also a big concept today, but it is your joints that will suffer. Apart from your internal organs, and apart from the scare of diabetes and heart disease and hypertension and all of that, your joints will suffer, right? So you need to keep your weight in check. It's about health. It's not about shape. It's not about looking good. It's about being healthy. It's about having a long, happy life. So if you are not overweight, and when I'm saying overweight, if you were the same weight you are that you were in college and you were in reasonably good control, then you don't even need to exercise. You just need to be active. So active means, when people have a sedentary lifestyle, active means just getting up when you're not actually typing or reading. You don't need to sit at the computer. I mean, I don't know what your policies say in the office, but the fact is that if you're not actually typing or reading, you can get up and move around. And science shows that when you move around, your brain works better. Your imagination works better. You are more creative. So you should be doing that. So a sedentary lifestyle actually happens only out of carelessness, out of laziness. If we are aware that this is something we need to work with and work against, then we will take the precautions to make sure that we don't suffer because of the lifestyle that we have or because of our work style that we have. So those are three things. One is sleep, one is food, one is exercise, and the third and most important thing is what? The fourth, sorry, is what? Try again. A what? That's very good. Very good. What's your name? Mansi. Very good, Mansi. It's a positive mindset. And what is the meaning of a positive mindset? Like I said earlier, we all know what is the right choice. But how do we make it? How do we have the discipline to make that choice? The discipline to say no to the bad stuff and yes to the good stuff. That is more, out of these four things, the most important thing. Because once you have that mental discipline, the other three are very, very easy. You know you're not going to watch a movie at 12 o'clock in the night. You're not going to binge watch an entire series or season over the weekend. You know that. Okay, you'll give yourself that time. You'll schedule it, right? You have enough time in the world to do everything you want to do if you do each thing at a time that is good for you. You can eat what you want, sleep when you want, watch the movies, watch the series. Whatever you want to do in life, you can do it if you do it at the right time. Right? So that is your choice. So when we're talking about age and it being a choice, you're only as old as you feel. You're only as old as you want to be. You're only as old as you choose. It is the same with everything else. You can be anything you want in life. It is only about making a choice. And that's all I have to say. Unless you have questions. How many minutes? 22. How many? No. How many minutes done? Oh, exactly. Amazing. They told me I had 30 minutes to speak. All right. Okay, any questions about anything? Not necessarily about what I was just talking about. Anything you want to know about me or about life in general, you can ask. Barefoot running.
Milind?
Yes.
Same question I had.
Who?
Yeah.
So barefoot running. So to me, I've always been the kind of person who likes to explore different things. I don't like to be in a box. I don't like to do the same thing every day. Even when you ask actors, what is the biggest thing you like about acting? They'll say we do different things every day, right? But for me, I've been an actor. I still act sometimes. For me, even acting every day is doing the same thing every day, right? So that is how different each day needs to be for me. And so I started my first company in 1989 to do events. Right? At that time, there were no event companies either. The first big event company, I think, was Wizcraft, we may have heard of, and there was another company called Showtime. And at that time, and they used to do only children's birthday parties. That's what events were then. But I started my first company because I really liked the idea of creating experiences. So it was not just for other people. Creating the experience was an experience for me. So every time I got into something, so I started modeling, I started doing events, I started acting on television, I started a production house. So every time I got into something professionally, I would start a company. So that is something I really, really enjoy to do. enjoy doing. So when I started running, it was also an exploration for me. And that was more of a, I would say, I call it spiritual because it's really about your body and mind and all the energies that you have. So it was about how, when like I said, I did my first half marathon, it really taught me something very, very important. So every time you run, there is a realization. And it maybe you're not able to put it into words, but there is something that happens in your brain, which is extremely positive. So one day I was just thinking about the natural way to run, and I had finished running 20 kilometers, and I took off my shoes, and I ran in my socks, and I was really surprised that my feet actually felt rejuvenated. My feet felt fresh. They got very tired inside the shoes. And I thought that was really interesting, so I started running more and more. And it really helped me a lot. So I know that a lot of people say that it's bad for the knees, and I'm not supposed to promote it because I'm not a doctor. So a lot of people will say, how can you tell people to do this? It may not be good for them, but it has been fabulous for me. It's an amazing experience. It really helps you to run better, and not only run, because your feet have a very, very large number of nerves. Your hands and your feet are what your body needs to feel the environment. And your body responds to that, like what is happening outside. So your feet and your hands feel the most. And when your feet feel the ground, the actual ground, they send signals to your entire body on how to respond. So how to stand, how to walk. A lot of people don't even know how to walk properly. They don't even know how to stand properly. The people who stand like this, they walk like this. And I've seen it. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I wonder, how do they do that? So your feet, you don't have to think about it. So, people tell you, your spine has to be straight. Just walk with the chest out, shoulders straight. But when your feet are on the ground, it happens naturally. You get the best running posture, the best standing posture, the best walking. People don't even know how to sit. But when your feet are on the ground, immediately you sit properly. So that's why I'm barefoot. It's a long answer.
There's a question here.
Where?
Here.
Where?
To your left.
Okay.
Hello, can you please do a ramp walk for us?
This is a ramp walk. I walk. This is a ramp walk. I mean, nobody does it better than me. Oops, sorry. I shouldn't. I'm not humble. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes. Well, to tell the truth, who inspires me? So really, I am inspired by things every day. And today, in fact, on the internet, you find stories of people who have overcome the most incredible obstacles, and they have made beautiful lives. And that is very, very inspiring. But even before the internet, when I was swimming or whether I was in school or college, I could see people and I could see their stories. And their stories were inspiring me just to never give up. Inspiring me just to go after what I want to do. You see it all the time. Sometimes we don't notice. We only see it in movies because that's the way movies are made. They want you to see that. But you have inspiring stories all around you. In all these people here, all of you will have something inspiring. Some story to tell that will better the life of somebody around you. And that's what it's like with me. Of course, in my life, my mother is really inspiring. She inspires thousands and thousands of people all the time. Because of, earlier, she used to be a professor of biochemistry. It was just her attitude to life, very, very positive. But it's that positive attitude to life that made her start trekking after she retired at 60. And even today, she treks every month. She's 80. She'll be 80 next year. And in fact, for Independence Day, she just did a walk of 50 kilometers. So for people, she can do a 2-minute plank. She can do 15 push-ups. Yeah. She runs barefoot, yes. So, that is very obviously right in front of me, but seriously. And because of Pinkathon, which you heard about, and some of you may have participated, I don't know. Anybody participate in Pinkathon? Okay, nice, very nice. I see stories of women whose lives have changed through running. And incredible, like you can't imagine being in that position. What those women must have gone through to reach that age and be in that situation where they are and then come out of it and transform their lives by doing something so simple, running 3 or 5 kilometers, joining a group of women who also believe that this is something important, and then they begin to encourage and motivate each other, and then change not only their lives but the lives of their families. It's really incredible. So just look around you and you will find stories to inspire you to be your best. I have no doubt about it. Yes.
Hi, Milind. How was your experience in Everest Base Camp?
Ramp walk, ramp walk, ramp
Everest
walk.
Base Camp?
Everest Base Camp was good. I like being in the mountains. It was nice. I won't say it was a big challenge for me because I'm really fit. But it's great. The Himalayas are really something special. Again, just being there can change your life. So I was there, for people who don't know. I went to base camp last year in October, and it was to shoot a TV series called I Can, You Can. It was about, again, it was an anti-tobacco campaign. So there were 6 people with me, 3 of whom had given up smoking and 3 were smokers. So they were, helping each other. But that was also a great experience being with them, because again, I used to smoke. I used to smoke about 30 cigarettes a day about 20 years ago. And I remember how tough it was to give it up, because cigarettes, how many of you smoke here? Don't feel shy. That's it? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. What if Flipkart only employs non-smokers? What is it? But it's amazing, because when I was smoking, everybody I met was smoking. Everybody, like that's how I got into it. When I started acting in 1995 in a TV series called Mouthful of Sky, I discovered that the life of an actor is only about waiting. Whoever you are, you could be the biggest actor, you could be a character artist. You're always waiting. You're waiting for the set to be ready, the lighting to be ready, the director to be ready, the script to be ready, the actress to be ready. All you're doing is that. So we were all sitting around doing nothing except smoking. Everybody was sitting and smoking, but today it's much less, which is fantastic. Today it's not that much. But I remember the challenge to give up, because cigarettes are so addictive, really, really addictive. Addictive than any other drug that I've tried. What's funny about that? No, cigarettes are very, very, very addictive. Not only that, they're acceptable. Sometimes we think the person smoking looks cool. I don't think so. But sometimes we do. And that was a big marketing thing earlier when it was allowed, advertising was allowed to make the smoker look really cool. And the third thing is it's so accessible. Every street corner has a cigarette shop. Not only that, of course, when I was smoking, people were offering cigarettes. Nowadays they don't, because at that time a cigarette was 20 paisa and now it's 16 rupees. Yeah. Now they don't offer cigarettes anymore, which is also good. Yeah, so it was great. It was a great experience, base camp, and I would go back anytime to be in the mountains. Yeah. Ultraman. What about it? So I have a theory, which is my own theory about training versus preparation. So when you think of training, you train for a particular goal, right? It's most often it's a short-term goal. I want to run a marathon. I'm training for this marathon. I have a race coming up in 3 months. I have 90 days to train for it. And what happens when you train for something like that? You run the marathon, you succeed, you do it, and then you stop training, right? Sometimes you stop for 6 months. Sometimes you stop forever. Like, oh, I ran, now enough. But what happens then is when you keep training, attaining a goal, stopping, then training again, and it's a lot of stress on the body, right? Your mind, of course, it does benefit, but there's a lot of stress on the body. So what you need to look at, or what I look at, is maintaining a level of fitness with which I can do almost anything, right? So I trained for Ironman, which I did in 2015. And that's what is the Ironman? I've forgotten the distance. It's so small. It's a 3.8 kilometer swim. It's a 180 kilometer cycle and a 42 kilometer run, done consecutively. That's it. But that's why it's called Ironman. Yeah. But let me tell you that Ironman is a huge franchise, okay? I think they have more than 100 editions every year across the world. And in every edition, there are about 3,000 people who participate. And out of them, at least 70% complete it and get the title of Ironman. So it's not tough. It's just a great marketing exercise. They call it Ironman, then get everyone to finish and make lots and lots of money. The company was sold for like $400 or $500 million last year. And Ultraman, so see, this is how the mind works. Because 70% of people finish Ironman, it's huge. Okay, there are hundreds of thousands of people who participate in Ironman every year. But Ultraman, the number of people who participate in each edition, and there are only 3 in the world, is 45. Because when you look at the distances, you are intimidated. You feel, no, I can't do this. Because this is what your mind is telling you, that you can't do it. Actually, you can do it. The Ultraman, did you say the Ultraman distance? Yeah, 10 kilometers swim, 420 kilometers cycling, and 84 kilometers run. So when you look at it like that, you say, no, it's not possible, right? I'll have to train for like 10 years to do it, or probably my entire life. But if I tell you that the man who finished before me was 67 with one leg. So if a man 67 with one leg can do it, what is wrong with a person with 2 legs who's like 33, right? So these are challenges that sometimes the mind, most often the mind tells us are tough and difficult, and you can't imagine how you're going to get there. But the first thing is to decide that you're going to do it, and then do whatever it takes, step by step. You don't have to think of the 100th step in the beginning. You just have to think of the first, and then the second, and then the third, till before you know it, you've done it. So Ultraman, I did not train for at all. I did nothing. Because I had already achieved a kind of fitness level which allowed me to undertake that challenge without any specific training. Now, when I speak to people, it's difficult to imagine. But only when you've done it, it's like if I tell you today I love running, and if you remember, I said I used to hate it, but I love it because I know what it does for me. Every time I run, I know the way I feel. I feel like God, Yeah. I do. It's true. And that is a feeling. That's another addiction. You can't let go of that feeling. Imagine feeling like God. Anybody here feels like God? Put up your hand. You shameless person. No, it is an incredible feeling. So I like to maintain that level of fitness. So for that, what allows you to maintain a level of fitness again is not speed, distance, power, strength. These are not important things. What is important is endurance. And what constitutes endurance is doing it regularly. Whatever you do it regularly. However little it is, do it regularly. Even if you can run or walk 3 or 4 kilometers every day, which will take you less than half an hour. Eventually it will take you less than 15 minutes. It will give you unimaginable strength. You can't imagine what just that little bit of time every day eventually will do for you, because it's accumulative. So when I talk about training versus preparation, what is preparation? Whatever you have done from the time you were born till now has prepared you for whatever you are capable of, or not. So every time you do something that's good for you, you're further prepared. Every time you do something that's bad for you, you take a step back. So it is our duty and our responsibility to make the right choice so that we can be the best version of ourselves, and you've heard this concept, be the best version of ourselves at every moment. So we think that as we grow old, we grow weaker, but we don't. Maybe we are slower. Maybe we have less strength. But in terms of endurance, we get better and better and better. And the reason for that is your mind becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. When you're younger, and you must have felt this when you were younger, now you're older, but your mind, you're confused. You're emotional. You're unsure. You're doubtful. But let me tell you, I'm 53. As you grow older, all these things will vanish if you make the right choices. No doubt, no fear, none of it. Everything is gone. No confusion. More and more clarity if you make the right choices. That is the essence of preparation. Every time you are faced with a choice, you know the right choice, you make the right choice. And eventually, you will see that your life is incredible. Really it is. And you feel like God.
We'll take last 3 questions, one over here.
Oh, how sad. I was getting warmed up. Yeah. Go on. Keyhole. Keyhole. So keyhole is a thing. Keyhole. 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 Kikorisa. Kikoriso. All right. Kikoriso. All right. I like sira doi. Do you like sira doi? Ask me about food. Food is easier. Sitol mas. Yeah. See?
Milind, I have a question.
Where are you?
Here.
Ah, okay.
When is your next Pinkathon event in Bangalore? And how do we register? I'm like not asking because...
The website is pinkathon.in. And it's usually in Bangalore on the last Sunday of January. Only. Once a year. Because Pinkathon is in 8 cities, so we can't just stay in one city. I'd love to stay in Bangalore, it's beautiful. But I have to go to Guwahati, I have to go to Delhi, I have to go to Chennai, I have to go to Hyderabad. Otherwise they'll get a little pissed off over there. Yeah.
Hey Milind. Hi. Definitely we don't think you look 53 or 35 fresh. There's no doubt. My question is, how much do you shop on Flipkart and what's your recent buy?
Actually, Flipkart paid me. I don't really shop online. Oh, I'm an old guy. I find it easier to do a lot of things, but shopping online I haven't mastered yet. But hopefully, my mother does though. She's 80, shops online.
Milind, one question here. Swimming or running?
Running. Because, swimming, you have to find a pool. And I've been... Running, you can do anywhere. And also, I'm very spoiled, I like the pool to be empty. Otherwise, I can't swim.
One last question.
Hi Milind. I just wanted to ask, what do you love doing the most? As an actor, as a model, or doing the fitness campaign that you do?
Fitness campaign? So, you know that the world is a stage and we're all actors, right? Shakespeare. So, I'm always an actor. You're all actors, all of you. Look at my face. I'm always a model. I can't help it. So if you ask me what I prefer, because the rest is natural, what I prefer to do is run.
All right, let's
Thank you.
hear...
Thank you very much.
Let's hear a Flipkart round of welcome, of applause for...
Come on! And now, in case any of you wants a selfie, he's going to choose the person. I'm not wearing my glasses. He's going to choose the person. They have to come on stage, do 20 push-ups if you're a boy and 10 if you're a girl, and take the selfie. Come.